Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, it's my pleasure to open today's symposium with so many outstanding speakers and guests.
The CERGE-EI US Foundation is a supporting fundraising arm for the CERGE-EI Institute based in Prague.
I especially welcome our speakers and panelists today who made the conference possible. It's a pleasure to have all of you here today. And I'm sure we will have a very interesting conference.
We're going to set the scene for the day here, and our title is The World Transformed. It's been an extraordinary year.
And this year is of a similar, at least, significance to 9/11. 20 years of history unfolded because of 9/11. The same will come from this. We understand democracy, John Stuart Mill and all the rest of it. Not enough of us understand communism, understand nationalism, or understand religion. And those three big things are big drivers in the world.
You know, the fundamental question is, how does a government perform? How competent is it? And can it bring people along with it? And here, I think, you know, looking at our European and our Western examples, the division is something which we've got to find a way to get through, to work out who we are, why we're here, and what we can offer into a global system.
In terms of industry as a whole, what we want is cheap, intense forms of energy. And we've made the mistake of thinking that we can have that and have a green revolution at the same time. Turns out we can't.
And that's really what we're talking about today, isn't it? It's about the weaponization of energy and the weaponization of natural resources and the weaponization of the economy.
It's the weaponization of supply chain. Every javelin that's been used by the Ukrainians that's been supplied by the West has 200 microchips in it, and almost all of those come from Taiwan.
We have very clearly emerging a superpower struggle between the US and China. We don't know how that's going to play out, but again, though it's very different and there's lots of detail, it obviously has Cold War echoes.
So what you're really saying is you think we're in for a longer period of high inflation?
I think we may well be.
Based on economic historian perspective, I would say the central bank has been always more in fear of deflation than inflation.
Because of what the Russians had been so desperate to target, which is the manufacturing that they had in Ukraine at the time, there has been so much destruction, and a big question for them is, do we rebuild that manufacturing sector, or do we decide to completely pivot to a more digital, more technological, exporting kind of economy?
Putin is able to say, if I can't have it, that is, if I can't have Ukraine, then nobody can have it. And so ruining Ukraine, wrecking it continuously, as far as the eye can see going forward, that's not a victory for Ukraine, but it's a weird, bizarre kind of victory for Putin.